Hello, my dotlings. So we have a return guest showing for the first time on DTP is... I always do it backwards. There we go.
It's me. I'm BlueNightt. Hi. How's everyone?
Hopefully we get some viewers tonight, because, this is actually a real star. He's about to go pro here on YouTube. We got 300 hours left before you can join the...
300, y'all. Push play and just let it play in the background, if you will. No, just kidding.
That's Drunken Divination. No, you're actually going to want to watch this. You know what? That's how we met, because I saw you had Drunken Divination, yes. And I, harassed the shit out of you until you let me on the show.
No, you didn't. You didn't harass. Not at all. You were like, hey, would you like to be on mine? And I was like, absolutely, if you're on mine. And then you were like, absolutely. And that's how it became a thing. And thank goodness.
I'm very glad we did that. So I have this habit. I have learned to have this habit because I'm always looking for somebody to be on Shameless Self Promotion, because that's what we do here. We're a community building channel.
Yes. We stand.
I try to. We're stand up right now.
No, we stand. Stand. Like, we're for it. We're all for it. We love it. Mercury girl.
Yeah, I know. Look, between the learning disorder and the Mercury retrograde, just strap in, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be one of those nights.
And that's completely okay. We're here. We're here for it.
I know the last time we had your buddy from Drunken Divination, last time we had Mark on here was my first live stream in forever, and Windows decided that was the best day to do a total update.
Oh, don't you just love that?
Everybody's computer had to update at the same time, and mine was struggling. So I had to do the live stream on my phone. Joe had to pop in for the first half because Mark couldn't get his computer to run.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It is a thing. So let's talk about Drunken Divination. Let's start with Drunken Divination, because that's how we met. I saw you on Drunken Divination, and I was like, hey.
Yes. So if any of y'all don't know what she's talking about, what we're talking about. So I have my own YouTube channel. You can find me just by searching BlueNightt, as it's spelled here. And within that YouTube channel, you'll find a little bit of a mix of array of things. I do some crafting videos. I haven't done one for a hot minute, but they're there. I do some how-tos. I talk about some hot topics here and there. Most recently, I discussed the differences in opinions and pathways as far as charging for witchcraft, that sort of thing. But also I do Drunken Divinations every other Saturday, which, by the way, is this Saturday.
Yeah, that's the big ticket thing. I do love your instructional videos. Don't get me wrong. I love your instructional videos. I love the one you did on the Book of Shadows. But Drunken Divination is...
It's a different animal.
It's a unique idea, and it is hilarious. I love to get on those are ones you can actually rewatch this shit later. Even if you're not part of it, you could totally put that on the background and listen to you guys try to muddle through this.
Oh, thanks for the links. Whoever's doing that, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
That's Joe. That's Techie Joe. He puts out the links.
Love it.
Hello, Go Fish.
It is Go Fish. Hey, girl. Hey. We were just talking about you. All bad, I promise. Yeah, Drunken Divs, it's a whole other animal. And I knew I wanted to do it, especially during COVID, when I couldn't make videos and I couldn't go live because I was out in the boonies of Southern Ohio. I saw a similar idea, but I was like, this would be even cooler as a live. So as soon as I moved and got some Wi-Fi and was able to do the thing, I just contacted my bestie and I was like, hey, would you want to do this with me? And he was like, sure, when? And I said, how about now? So we literally went live, and this is the 34th technically the 36th episode, I think, that we'll be doing this weekend. So
I think I was on like the 16th. I can't believe how time flies.
I know, it's scary. I'm like, damn, we've been doing this for over a year. Oh wow,
Right.
my
Oh my God.
liver.
You know what? It's been a little bizarre because lately I've had a big jump in subscribers and things like that. Like
Good.
Mercury's been good to me this time around. But I know, like, when we first started, you were like right at that precipice where you were going to go from like doing this for yourself to actually like being part of like the community. And I know that's developed into Sabbath Social.
Yeah.
So now like you're community building and shit. So let's hear about the Sabbath Social.
Ooh, Sabbath Social. So from Drunken Divinations, we started Witchy Weekends, which is a collaboration of different shows that air live over the same weekend. So basically, you've got double feature Fridays right now and Drunken Divs. Double feature is on the Friday of this weekend. So this Friday, check out Chris Asperin's channel for that if you haven't yet. But basically, so Ravenflower is a friend of mine. We've been close since, it's been a while.
Back in the day.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah. So, but she has helped Chris start Double Feature Friday. And over that course of forming different shows, Raven also has planned her witchy meet and greets, and which she did when she lived in Texas, and she also started doing a few years back with her community in the Pacific Northwest. So I mentioned to her, I was like, girl, why aren't you doing this professionally? Because she is amazing at getting the community together to do things, like to do the things. So I said, why don't you like make this your full-time job? Why don't you start a company? And she's like, you know what? So listen, I didn't listen to you. I kind of brushed you off, but then my husband said something, and then somebody else at work said something. So now I'm kind of interested, and I want to know if you would help me out with it. And I was like, absolutely, sure. So about a year later, this past summer, we started a soft launch for Sabbath Social, which here's the logo if you want to see that. And
Yes.
Sabbath Social, you want to see it again?
Hey, Joe, can you screenshot the... Let's see if Joe can show us the website.
Oh, okay. I can pull it up on my phone, too, if you need me to.
So, because I know that there's quite a bit going on there. Like, there's a lot.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot to Sabbath Social. I have not paid the subscription because I was a broke bitch, and that's just the way it goes.
Same.
But I will say, like, what I've seen has been like, it looks like it's worth it, and I really want to. I just haven't. Totally
get it. So the biggest goal with Sabbath Social is because a lot of people are like, so what is it? You know, it was really interesting because when we started our soft launch, which we're still in soft launch now, so we're still learning the ways of the beast, if you want to put it that way. But basically, we do a lot of things. So we're an online community, which is seen through not just the live videos that we do, which includes like monthly tarot scopes from one of our team members. We also do like a monthly spiritual wellness check-in with Michelle and her Everyday Alchemy. We have a book club. We're about to start this month, actually started a crystal club so we can all learn crystals together.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch crystal bingo because I'm like, I know that I don't know my crystals enough because I have a terrible memory to play, but I want to play.
You don't have to know your crystals to play, though. It's a lot of fun. That's it.
There's the website.
That's the beast. Yeah. So you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, sabbathsocial.com. It's pretty easy to pull up. But basically the goal is to build a community, and we're hoping to one day make enough money by throwing parties, basically spiritual events and parties, to continue to feed back into the community. So the big goal is to eventually become a nonprofit organization specifically for the witchy pagan community. But in doing so, we are also in our, plannings of events and everything. We're also donating a lot of our profits to a chosen charity each quarter. And
Appalachian Pagan Ministry.
there's a good one. You'll have to send me info for that. Right now, I'll have to pull it up because I always forget the name. But right now, our big event that we're planning for October 1st is the Sanderson Celebration, which is also our official launch date. So we're bringing on like workshops, classes. I mean, you name it, we're pretty much going to have it. All of that's coming on next month. And so to celebrate that, we're having the Sanderson Celebration, which you'll find on the homepage. If
like
you
the
scroll.
Sanderson sisters?
Yeah. So it's also just kind of like a nod to how Hocus Pocus is being released at the end of this month. So we decided to theme it after that, just because why not? It would be fun,
It's witchy. We do the witchy thing.
Right. And I mean, Hocus Pocus, come on. So the True Colors Fund is our current nonprofit organization. So we're going to be donating most of our profits actually to them up until December, which is when we'll do a flip-flop on to the next organization. So
that's cool, because I used to try and do, I don't know, like, if you're watching on DTP, then there's probably no proof that I did this. But if on my original channel, I still have some of my causes of the month. And I need to go back through and edit a few of them, because I said I was going to drop money on these causes, but the causes didn't want anything to do with me.
They're busy, girl.
They were busy.
Sure.
Like, they're busy. Like, even like once I'd work at this, because at the time I was doing this, I was working with the homeless. I'm like, so I was talking to, the Covenant House. Man and Meals did agree. I did a Man and Meals one, and I was very proud of it. Like, if you get a chance to watch that one, that is a local food pantry. That's local to Charleston.
Okay.
And I did one for their food pantry there, just to talk about myself. Sorry.
I'm here. I'm listening.
I love that you are actually donating, getting back into the community. That's one thing like I do love about community building, is that there are just not enough pagan-based community services.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that's cool, like they're helping people get information, but there's like, I want to see pagan-based food pantries and pagan-based, like, that's why I said Appalachian
or
Pagan Ministries.
pagan-based like housing programs.
Housing, yes.
That's a big
or
one.
Actually addiction recovery. I worked with the homeless for a while, and a lot of them have addiction issues, and we did have like a couple of people that I worked with who were, had an atheist, we had a Wiccan, and I'm like, okay, well, we definitely need to work around this because there's a real need in the community.
Absolutely.
That's part of why, like,
and that is a huge so Ravenflower, I mean, it's not my story to tell, but she's said it in quite a few of our lives. And if anybody's interested on the overall mission and statement of Sabbath Social, it's always at the bottom of the website, and it's in the first video that you see on the website. As soon as you pull us up, it's our first, it's in our about section. But Raven actually has been homeless, and so that is a huge problem in our country and our society that she actively wanted to work on. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Which is partially why our first, one of our first organizations that we're working with is the True Colors Fund, because, they're all about assisting LGBTQI plus youth and helping them, I think they help house them and also help kind of get them into like on their feet stably
Right.
in the world.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into getting somebody back on their feet.
Right. A lot of people don't realize, especially, for people in our communities, whether that be pagan, Wiccan, or the LGBTQI plus peoples.
Right. What? I watched a really valid argument to just call it the queer community. And
Love
that's
it.
kind of where I'm going. I'm just calling it the queer community because it's more inclusive. Like, we all have individual identities, and we should, like, each one of us has our own initial. We each have our own initials. But that all
Absolutely.
still falls under the queer community,
Yes, very true. The alphabet community, the alphabet mafia, as they say on TikTok. I like that one. The alphabet coven.
Alphabet coven. You know what? I like that. Like, that sounds
Right?
that sounds like one of those revenge sort of like
Comebacks.
movies. I was gonna say like a horror movie where the protagonists are drag queens. I watched TikTok Trannies the other day. This is a movie. I didn't come up with that.
I love it so far.
It looked like one of RuPaul's challenges.
Oh.
Like, it was low budget AF, but it was a fun
But
ride.
that sounds like that would just make it better.
It really does. It looks like one of RuPaul's final challenges.
That's amazing. I'll have to check that out. Ticked off. Okay. Got it.
They provide schooling, housing, and job training.
Okay.
So, do they have a website that you would like to promote?
Sure. Let me. So I don't know if it will work for me.
What was the name of it again?
TrueColorsUnited.org.
Okay, well, we will try to make sure that we post that later, or if Joe can find it.
Oh, hey, Julie B.
Hello, Julie.
Oh, she's
We have a mutual friend, somebody who's been on this live stream before. And the fine fellow.
What?
Yeah, like I posted that I was putting this, that we were doing this, and he says, "Oh, 2 people I know."
Sweet.
I'm like, get back into it. You can come back on. He was actually my first live stream. I actually did it at my boyfriend's house that time because I didn't know what I was doing yet.
That's awesome though. And that's part of the reason, and also, so that's also part of the reason why I do Drunken Dibs too, is because I wanted to do something that was different than, and I've stolen your coined term, by the way, Dottie, the floating head videos.
Oh my god. Okay, so no, I didn't see. That is actually what they're fucking called. Oh my god.
Listen, that's what I call them now because of you. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do something fun and interactive, but also community building, which is why I like desperately try and pull people from all different walks of life to be guests on that show, because I'm like, okay, but this is also like, I tell people all the time, when you're on, it's your show too. Like, you're a host, So I tell people all the time, like, self-promote, come on. Kind of like you do here. But like, also, we're getting drunk and reading cards.
Which is fun. I remember I gave you so much hell for breaking out the books because I'm a professional psychic. This is how I make my living. I'm like, I'm watching some of the books. I'm like, you can't do that shit in front of clients, okay? Don't do that in front of the clients.
In front of the clients. Not in front of the clients.
Don't do that in public, dear. You can't get by with it, okay?
Meanwhile,
in the
I was
house.
drunk as hell, and I'm just like, girl, listen, don't judge me. Don't judge me. But, you
I think
know,
I actually broke. Oh, I got news for you, actually. Like, you know that deck I was using? Because I was using my hand-drawn deck. I am
yes.
almost done with the art. I'm publishing half of it at a time because it's a 100-card deck, but I'm doing like 52. So I have like redrawn the deck, half
Nice.
of it, and I'm down to like 5 or 6 cards left to do.
Ooh.
Maybe not. I may not have to do that many.
You
Like there's
could
some that I gotta
do
do some rearranging. There's some things
you
and some
could do
editing and
like
stuff to do.
I've heard where some authors will do like or some publishers will do like expansion packs.
Yeah.
So you could
Well,
do
I'm
like the
actually
first
thinking of just
half and then you could do like
I'm thinking about just breaking it into 2 decks. Like if you want the whole deck, you can buy both of them. But like honestly, because I mean, when I originally drew them, they're on index cards, so they're really thin. So like a pack of
Mhm.
100 of index cards is kind of standard. Where if you do them on like the nice tarot card paper, that's gonna be like that thick. It's gonna be like
Oh, it's gonna be a monster.
Magic the Gathering, which is my gift
Yeah.
from right here.
It's gonna be a monster, but I'm here for it.
Right.
The last episode we had Chris and Nelly, and Nelly had a deck of like 150 some cards,
Oh
and
wow.
it was thick. She was
What kind
thick.
of cards were they?
Oh gosh, it was a tarot deck, but I can't even remember the name of it.
Was it
I
like
was
2
so
tarot decks together?
It was it was one deck, but she said that it came with like expansion packs or something.
Oh
And like
wow.
some of them were repeated but by different artists. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it was a
You know,
pretty
that's one of those things, like, I always thought, like, a tarot deck, like, a deck speaks to you, whatever the deck itself says to you, because I've got one deck, the Murder of Crows deck,
Mhm.
and it
I've
inherently
almost bought that one. I've been this
it's
close.
gorgeous. I did a small review on it one time. It was one of those episodes, like, I just popped on, I'm like, "I'm gonna start doing these Dottie bait videos." Dot bait. It was one of the things I was gonna dot bait, but
Dot bait. I love it.
yeah. The channel, I don't know if you realize how much like major restructuring we've been doing behind the scenes. Like I have updated a bunch of bios. I'm still in the process. Like I got my newsletter done because I try to have it done 2 weeks in advance because if I don't,
Mhm.
it's too late. And I've got to do another article because our psychic group, West Virginia Psychics, we're always doing something like some sort of community thing. So like Asen kind of heads that, and
Mhm.
he was asking me for a article for his pay for newsletter.
Hmm.
So much. But I do have a newsletter. I've got a newsletter. I've split the YouTube channel, revamped a whole bunch of bios. I am starting to actually really, really work on my Patreon. So, help out.
Yes.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe. I love that.
Have you ever seen Mac?
I thought you were gonna say Mac Miller.
No, it's not Machiavelli. That's actually his real name, but it's not. Oh my God, what is it? I just remember Mac because that's how he enters his videos, and like he is this really fantastic YouTuber. He's funny as hell.
I have to look him up.
Yeah, queer is a $3 bill.
Subscribe. I love that. So cool.
I'm gonna look him up. But Mac does it. I think was it.
Mac does it. Mac
Look
does
him up
it.
later. That's for all them LGBTs out there. All my fellow queeros.
All those Alphabet Coven members.
Right.
Don't add us for marketing advice. That's so funny. But yeah, that's why, that's why I started Drunken Dibs too, was so that way, anybody who wanted to could come on and,
I know that's like
advertise their
really
stuff.
taken off. Like it looks like your channel's doubled since I've been on, because I think you only had like a 1,000 or so when I came on, and now you're up to like 2.
I don't even know. Girl, I don't look at that stuff on the regular. I just looked at the monetization thing to see if that had gone up, just because that would make drunken divination so much easier. I feel, because then everybody could just do one tip and we could split it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I forgot to mention, if anybody watching has not seen Drunken Divinations, you're probably thinking, what, you just get drunk and you read cards? It's a little more than that. We read cards for people who are open and are willing in the chat. And basically you go in, if you have a specific question or you want a general reading, you just type in all caps that you want one, and then you get put on a list. It's magic? Is that what you said?
It is magic. And it really is straight up. It's the two of you getting blottoed and reading people to filth sometimes. I have gone on there and had my personal fortune read several times, been nailed to the fucking wall. I'm like, well,
that happens. I don't know, but it happens.
It does. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go over here and process what you just said.
Sometimes I have to process what I said. And sometimes it's so bad that I'm just gonna forget about that one.
It's like, yeah, that message was for you, dear. Have fun.
Sorry.
Oh my god!
It wasn't
just
me, it was
watch
the cards.
You can see it happen in the comments. You can see it happen in the comments because you'll be on there just like they'll be just like, okay, we're gonna read the next person. It's like, and your life sucks. And like in the comments, you'll see the person be like, well, shit, thanks, but like it's true. Like, this is how you need to fix your life. And they're like, I didn't want to hear that, but you're not wrong.
It's always like, listen, I don't mean to come for you, but, and then we start reading for filth, or it's literally like drunken.
It starts out Sylvia Brown and ends RuPaul.
That's awful.
But it's not wrong either.
Or you'll get like this overly enthusiastic drunken, like, yes, queen, quit your job, quit, yes, like, don't listen to us, don't listen, like, it's
Okay, this is the part of the show where I remind people to use their own brain and not to rely entirely upon psychics, even though yes, I am one. I can only give you the advice from what I know.
Also be an adult, viewers.
Yes. You wouldn't think you'd have to tell people that, but it's in all my disclaimers for a reason.
Absolutely, but you do. But yeah, so we, if you guys haven't figured it out, we take tips, but not for readings, but for shots. So that's where the interaction comes in, and what makes it more fun is the more we get tipped, the more drunk
tipsy
we get.
They get.
And the more fun the readings get. So that's a thing. That's a thing.
I definitely want to. If you're ever running low on guests, which I don't think is going to happen, I will say this: I really appreciate you having me on Drunken Divination, because I have even now, recently I changed everything over, so obviously this is a very small channel. Like, share, and subscribe. I have 10 subscribers to the new channel right now, but your willingness to have smaller creators on with you is amazing.
Absolutely.
I really genuinely appreciate that.
And I think it's interesting that you say smaller creators, because I think you and I have talked about this before too. Somebody has said, oh yeah, you're not a small creator, and I'm like,
oh yeah, we're microscopic, but that's you're a small creator. You're almost a small creator. You're just about
all
there.
Small creators, really. I mean, there's always somebody that's got the 30, 100, XK, whatever the letters are. I don't ask me to math.
Oh my god, one of my favorite YouTubers, ContraPoints, has over 1 million. Philosophy Tube has over 1 million. I'm like, how do I get that kind of bank? But I don't want that kind of trouble though.
Right. And I'm just like, it's just interesting because, I see it's all an algorithm, and we're all just doing what we can. So I'm like, yeah, if anybody wants to come on, all they got to do is ask. All you gotta do is ask if you want on Drunken Divinations, and I will
Speaking of
set you up a time. You want
I
on?
definitely want to come back on there if you ever give me a
Yes,
chance.
please. I'll
We
give
do
you.
need to take a
Listen.
little commercial break.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you're gonna get to see our commercials, which I love because I look for your favorite star because I stand out.
I'm getting my breadstick ready.
You haven't seen my commercial yet?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, so you're gonna watch all the girls. I hope it's in this round. We're gonna have 2 rounds of commercial. We're gonna one in about 15 seconds, and then we're gonna have one closer to the hour mark so that we can run all the girls. Which is Asen's like our drag mommy. He runs all the girls and he takes care of the whole show behind the scenes. But so here we go with the commercials. Roll it, Joe.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Asenite. Hi, Asen. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Van chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit tracybann.com, TracyBann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and I let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available. If you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out, I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
Aren't those awesome?
Those are so cool. Natalie is amazing. She's been on Drunken Divs too. Love Natalie. She was a hoot.
That was a lot of fun. So what'd you think of my commercial? Because I am an arrogant bitch.
I loved it. I'm here for it.
That is a stairwell. So I've got this office job where I basically just file paperwork for a lawyer. And so like I just did that. Like I just shaved, you can tell I just shaved my head. It's had time to grow out. I need to shave it again. Like
I need to do the same. Like mine's too long.
Yeah, getting it cleaned up. Might be something I do on screen. I don't know.
I thought about that. I thought
It's
about
such a
doing that.
pain.
Like
It's
just
such a
one day
pain.
being like, listen, we're gonna play Britney today. Yeah.
Leave Brittany alone.
Yes.
Oh my god, my dog
funny.
just cried. I heard him in the other room. I've got a camera for him. Asen sent me a camera for a Luther camera so I can train it on the dogs. I just haven't got it all set up or figured out yet. I may have to like sandbox like a whole nother program just to get him on there, but or put him on my phone or something. I'll figure it out later.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
It would be cool. Yeah, I love working with Natalie. I'm hoping to get a little group together and go to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. I don't know what's going to happen with that. That'd
be cool.
It's in the air right now. But like, yeah, I'm really hoping to because I want to do a whole video on paranormal ethics.
Yes. Here for it.
Thank you, Julie. I do try.
Julie's amazing. Thanks for joining us, Julie. Hey, hi. Oh. Julie knows all about the Drunken Divinations chat, too.
I wish I had to pee during that commercial break because now I'm feeling it.
That's what, honestly, we need that at Drunken Dibs. We need some commercial breaks because then we could all break the seal at the same time rather than me just getting up and being like, I gotta go. I'll be right back.
You know what? It might not be a bad idea to make yourself like for the Sabbath social.
Girl, I'd get so drunk I'd forget. Oh, you mean for Sab Soch? Yeah.
Yeah, like just a little commercial you can run in the middle. Like, I don't know how Joe does it. Like, that is Techie Joe's baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
good.
like, I mean,
you do good.
He makes all this, like, if you see up here, like the banner and stuff, like the name bit is, I think, not so hard as far as I know, because I remember being able to do that. But like this whole background thing, and every now and then
He said, Joe's not talented for this. He's talented for this.
Oh, you know what? He has stepped in and saved my ass many a time. Last Shameless Self Promotion, we were supposed to have Star Singer on.
Okay. She's pretty cool.
She is super cool. And I got to go and do Open Circle with her. And then she was supposed to be on my channel, and there was some miscommunication about the day.
Was it Mercury? Can we blame Mercury?
You know, we don't sweat the small stuff here at Dottie the Psychic Industries because we would be dehydrated, okay? That's my new catchphrase. That is my new catchphrase.
I love it.
It's the truth, though. With the shit that goes down between being like kind of neuro-crispy.
Neuro-crispy?
Like, that's what I'm calling it. I'm neuro-crispy.
Listen.
It's a distinct flavor.
I'm not diagnosed, but my mom did recently tell me, she was like, oh yeah, because my partner, he liked to tease me, and he'd be like, it's because you're neurodivergent. Oh, you did? You forgot about this? It's because you're neurodivergent. And I'm like, you're so funny. So I brought up his trend of, joking with me to my mother, and she's like, well, when you were a kid, they did want to put you on Adderall. And I was like,
oh, you know what?
I was like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, but it was the popular thing, and I didn't want you to be on, and you were coping. And I'm like, yeah, but now if I am, like, I'm not necessarily coping. Like, it would be nice to have a,
I understand why
toolbox.
Here's the thing. This is actually, if you're in, I don't spend as much time on the neurodivergent community pages, which I really do want to get more involved, but being a psychic is my thing, and they want, that's the two things don't always verge. Like, I'm totally promoting mental health in the magic field, and that's my thing, but I'm not necessarily promoting magic in the mental health field. So I don't spend as much time in the community, but if you want to start a fight, that's how, because there's this huge divide of people who were diagnosed as children, like I was. I was diagnosed in 2nd grade, and they put me on Ritalin, which honestly made me want to kill myself. And this adult generation that are being diagnosed that are like, if I had known this when I was a kid, my life would have been so much easier. But the truth is, you would have been just a part of our generation instead of where you are. Like, you would just been on a different side of the same goddamn fence.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it would be better, but I'm saying, like, maybe I'd have a little more tools in my toolbox to, like, better understand how to cope, maybe.
Right.
But
Here's the thing, like, I've been saying this for a while, but I really do mean it. Like, when I took on occultism, because magic has always been a part of my life, but there was this long night of the soul, desert of the spirit, whatever you want to call, like, multi-year depressive phase, where I had pretty much given up magic, and magic is what saved my life in many ways. I call it self-help for weirdos for a reason, because it's what helped me get out. It helped me get out of a bad situation, mentally, and really it helped me I had to sacrifice everything that I was to become who I am. And I do not have one bit of regret for that. But that went through occultism in a lot of ways, and I've totally lost where I was going with this. Coping mechanisms. So I had to relearn a lot of those coping mechanisms because they weren't necessarily taught to me. What I was because I was part of the medication generation. A lot of times we were not so much taught how to function as that we were giving pills and told
pills. Right.
And the pills, like, I've tried, because I've gone back on them as an adult once or twice. I went on Adderall when I was in LPN school, and I could not eat. Like, literally, when somebody says that things turn to ash and rot in their mouth, I know what that means. Like, food, literally, everything I ate tasted rotten. I had to choke down mac and cheese.
Oh, wow.
Still have kind of an aversion to it because it was literally that. And the other thing I still love this, like, weird pineapple salad I make that is nothing but cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, and pineapple.
That's a thing. My mom does that too.
It was the only thing I liked, and it's probably the only thing I liked because it's supposed to taste rotten, okay? It's gross, and I know that, but I don't care.
It's supposed to taste like crap, but I don't care. I love it.
Like, that's how it's supposed to taste. So I went back. That was Adderall. Like, it's kind of a joke amongst us who were raised in the medication generation, the kids who were on Ritalin in their school years and on Adderall. Like, Ritalin made you suicidal and Adderall made you homicidal. And that was the school's response. They wanted you to be able to fit in these little boxes made of ticky-tack.
Yeah, made of ticky-tack. It's so true, though. And I'm just like, well, thanks for that, but also just, like, help.
I think the point I'm trying to make, this is the one thing that the community, the ADHD, the neurodivergent community has to heal from. Because there is such an epic divide between people like me who were diagnosed as children and people like you who are seeking diagnoses because the coping mechanisms that you learn from cognitive behavior will help you out. You know, there's things that you need, sugar in your mac and cheese, you know, whatever works for you, you know, whatever.
No. I can't. Sugar? No. As a kid. Okay. Mac and cheese with sugar. Okay. Were you actually coping, or did you get good at keeping it under wraps so you wouldn't be a burden to others? Listen, this isn't drunken divinations. We don't need to read people here, Anthony.
Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not give a content warning before we went straight into mental health because I am personally a mental health advocate. Nathan, if you don't want to talk about this, we can switch the subject. I can go back to talking about.
We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my partner. Cool. He likes to do it for free, bestie. Get out of here. That's funny. No, but it is a serious it's a serious thing, and like I'm not gonna shy away from it. Like I seek help actively, you know. Like it's been one thing I've learned in working with Ravenflower and working on Sabbath Social with her is that my scheduling abilities really needed work. And that's partially because I didn't realize how
Time blind.
Listen, I'm just gonna, can you please write a dictionary with these? Because I need these.
Okay, you know what? Here's the thing I want to say to all of my fellow Neuro Crispies. All my fellow Neuro Crispies, even if you don't have your diagnoses, if that's something you want to work towards for your own personal well-being and you think that medication will help you, talk to your doctor, get your diagnoses, get your medicine. I have no problem with that. Those who do not want to take a medication route, just go ahead and study cognitive behavioral therapy. You can find How to ADHD. That woman is beautiful in so many ways. And she is just out there talking about her neurodivergency and has kind of given me the courage to talk about mine.
Right.
So if you're not interested in taking medication route, but you still feel like you need a little help, like with coming up with a system that works around your brain, make your environment work for you rather than trying to make yourself work for your environment. Externalizing things that you have to remember, like, honest to God, this fucking thing right here, my cell phone, I put everything on my Google Calendar. That's the only reason I'm on time. And it makes noise. Yeah.
I've recently learned that is God.
It makes a badoong noise when I got to start getting ready for stuff, because if it didn't make a badoong noise, I wouldn't get ready for stuff. I have I would not be able to have this podcast if I didn't have an alarm set on my phone. So, you know, when the Western civilization collapses, this show's going to be over.
I know, he told me. I know.
Hello, Amy.
Hi, Amy. But yeah, same. I have to set alarms. I have to put in literally as soon as I schedule people for Drunken Divs, I have to notate it so I remember. And I have an alarm that has me reminds me to remind them to get their images and all the things to me, so I know what I'm putting on the thumbnail. And it's a thing. It's life.
I keep thinking I'm going to do this shadow work video, but like the more I work on it, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to break this down into like a series, because like shadow work in and of itself, just the understanding the basics behind it is one aspect worthy of its whole video. The history of shadow work is one whole video. Then I was going to do it like
Jung stuff.
Yeah, and I was gonna kind of do it where I like walked through my psyche, because I've got all these characters on my main channel. Like, have you seen my videos?
Yes, I have. Absolutely.
You see how I do the character thing?
Yes.
So I was thinking about, like, you know, the one from Psychic Constipation with the big Venetian mask.
Mm-hmm.
That is gonna be like my shadow. Like, that's going to be, like, the one that leads me through all this. And then I was going to take it and, like, do different chunks in different places. Like, spin the camera and do all these. I've got all these cool tricks I think I want to try, and we'll see how that goes. I got smoke bombs waiting for me to get the guts up to actually make this video. I've got 3 smoke bombs.
Do it. Those get old, though, so you need to, like, don't sit on them too long.
I've been sitting on them for a year, so I probably need to work on that. Like, when I do shadow video one where I use kind of, like, fog. I think I just need to use like fog and like just like maybe keep rotating in different places, like just have it fog over the way. But I want to use one for, I also want to use one for smoke scrying. Like, it's another cool video I've had ideas on forever, but I am actively working on the palmistry, because I just did a palmistry for basic bitches class.
Palmistry for basic bitches. I love that.
It was fantastic. Like, I mean, I was heading into an anxiety attack, because despite all this, I don't know, if you can pick up on it, but I actually just occasionally, like, I'll have an anxiety attack, and it feels almost like random because there are times I can get up and be just fine and full in front of like 100 people, and then like there's 3 of us and I'm having an anxiety attack because there's too many people. So like trying to figure out my brain is study in madness.
But we love it. We love it.
I know, right? Like I'm just like, well, you know what? If this shit's gonna happen anyway, I'm gonna see if I can't get it monetized.
There you go.
I just get paid for this bullshit.
Win-win.
Right? Actually, my intro just dropped today, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take your.
No, you're fine. I saw that actually, and it was amazing.
Thank you.
I watched that this morning. I was like, oh yay! I love.
I was really proud of it.
It's really good.
That freaking skirt. I'm calling it my gay parachute.
This is one of the favorites. One of the favorites.
I totally worked in 12 yards of fabric. Like, I've got to make new underwear for that thing.
Yes. All matching, of course, I hope.
Actually, yes. It's like I'm doing the pride colors in tulle. And then I need to make like a new hoop skirt for it because the hoop skirt I've been using for everything is like PEX tubing on a string.
PEX tubing.
Oh, I'm glad you watched it. I'm glad people have seen it. I'm really proud of it. Like it was the first time that's the first time I've done an edited video since I did the scammer video.
Sabbath Social, we saw it and it is beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, Sabbath Social. Welcome to the chat. So yeah, if anybody's curious about the Sabbath Social stuff that I was talking about earlier, you can click right there on the YouTube's channel. Let's comment.
Yeah, drop us a link if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I think we dropped it earlier, but I'm always about dropping them.
I think so.
I'm excited about Sabbath Social. I really want to check out. I really want to check out your crystal bingo because that just seems like such a cute idea.
It is so much fun. So you don't have to know your crystals at all for crystal bingo. It's like bingo, but instead of numbers, it's crystal names. So and each night we try and have a guest caller. This past weekend was Jessica, who's also Moon Fairy Creations. She's amazing. She's heading our Crystal Club. So she's going to kind of like learn alongside everybody as we all do research on crystals together. But the first night we did Crystal Bingo, Michelle helped call, and I didn't realize that she knows as much as she knows about crystals. Now, you want to talk about a walking, talking encyclopedia, this woman, let me tell you. So we start out really slow with the calls because, I mean, they're crystal names, they're not numbers. So it's a little bit more, there's a little bit more looking at first that you have to do on your card, you know? So we want to give everybody time to find the crystal names. But closer to the end of the night, I mean, she was just literally right off the bat giving us facts on like what the crystal's made out of, and I'm just like, so I was like, okay, girl, you want to play it? Let's speed up the caller a little bit. Let's speed it up. It was so much fun. It was so fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I do love that you've like she incorporated learning into it. You know, like
Yes,
especially if we can actually learn like some geology along with our crystal work. Like it's like.
And she was giving it to us, like giving us the like the breakdown of the different minerals that make up and I'm just like, okay, cool. And it's also really cool because even if you have someone who's still learning, like say we don't have Michelle on, but you know, maybe it's just me. Like I'm not a crystal expert. I know the ones I work with, and that's good enough for me, you know. But we'll Google, we'll talk about it in the chat. It's a fun experience.
That's cool. So, I know I missed it the first couple of times. I'm going to try and get in there. How do we get a card for that? Like how does somebody get involved with the Crystal Bingo? Like how do they get to play?
So if you want to play Crystal Bingo, basically every so often, I think we're doing it once every other month. just so, people don't get tired of it. So we're not doing a crystal bingo next month because of all the crazy things happening in October. Like I said, we're bringing on a lot of stuff. But if you do want to play, you just got to keep an eye out on all of our social media channels, which includes, again, Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, especially because each month, Raven and I go live at the beginning of each month to kind of give a nice rundown of what's to come. Also, if you scroll all the way down on our website, we also have a newsletter, so you can subscribe to that, which you'll get
That's cool.
live in, as well as like a brief summary of anything new that's coming that month. So like, for example, the Sanderson celebration, which is October 1st, so that big old party that we're doing, which I need to speak more on. But that is, probably the biggest thing on this month's newsletter, as well as any of the new blogs or vlogs.
So what is going on with this party? What is with this party?
So this party, girl. Okay, so it's a 3-part party. So it's all on October 1st. It starts at 6 p.m. our time because we're Eastern. But it's 6 Eastern, 5 Central, and 3 Pacific. But basically, Sabbath Social is a little bit of everything. There's pay-to-play sort of deals, and there's also the free content that we provide everybody. So in the spirit of that, we're doing a similar thing with this party. So starting at 6, my good friend Goatfish, aka Mark, who does Drunken Divinations with me, he is going to do a mixology show because we have a signature drink, a signature cocktail for the party.
I think I remember hearing about this one.
Yes, and let me just say, the drink is gorgeous.
What do we call that drink? What is that drink called? I can't remember.
So it's called the Black Flame Cocktail because it's Sanderson themed. So they had the Black Flame candle. We have the Black Flame cocktail. So Mark's
we
going
might do readings after the breaks. Sorry, we had a question in the comments. If you're interested, we can do readings maybe after the break towards the end of the show.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So go back on. So we're talking about the Sanderson party. We have the signature drink.
So you're going to learn the first bit is a free bit, and it's open to everybody. It'll be broadcasted on our website and our YouTube channel. And it's going to be Mark telling us how to make this drink. That way you have it. If you want to just watch any of the other festivities, or if you want to take part in the festivities, you can do so with drink in hand. The second part to the celebration is a members only part, and it's a big secret, and I can't even talk about it. Because the members don't even know. It's a surprise. So if you want to find out what it is, get a membership and you'll find out. And as far as the third part, which is open to everybody, but that is it's the big time party. It's you made your drink. If you're a member, you did the member thing. Now we're going to do this. And those tickets are available to anybody. So you can go to Sabbath Social. You can either click on events and go to our Sanderson Celebration event listing, or you can scroll down from the homepage or even go to our calendar. There's literally links everywhere. You just got to explore. But basically, go ahead.
I was going to say, let's talk about the membership there.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So you want to talk about what you get as a member?
Yeah, because it was $15 a month. We got about a minute before a break, so go ahead and tell me what's going on with that, and then we'll hit the break.
Yeah. So the membership is $15.98 right now, and this is actually the soft launch pricing. So as of October, that membership's going to go up just a little bit. But if you sign up during the soft launch, you get all kinds of things. So the first thing that you'll get, you'll receive one of these member stickers, logo stickers. So only members get the shiny ones like this. It's really nice. Yeah. And you'll also get, if you sign up before October, you'll get a free members pin. So we have these pins, which I haven't filled mine yet because I have to figure out how I'm going to put the things I want to put in these vials in here. But you get these vials that are basically for any herbs or oils that you'd want to put in there. You get a bead tassel, which if you do any of the workshops or the events, you'll get a bead that will go on this tassel. So you can kind of like wear it around and show what you've done. And then, of course, you've got the triple moon symbol with the pentacle there, just as a kind of like a nod to our logo sort of deal. So you'll get that for free. You get access to the member-only forum. So we have a whole forum community that only members can access and discuss things behind the scenes. You also get instant access to free members-only events, like the one we're doing in October, that little mid-section there that's only for members, and it's a surprise. They'll get into that for free. You also get a free ticket each year to attend a paid event. So, for example, if you were a member and if you didn't have the money or you didn't want to spend the money for the paid portion of the Sanderson celebration, or even the bingo, the crystal bingo, which is $5 per night, then you could say, I want to use my member ticket, and you can get that for free. You also get discounts on all of our merch. You get, what else? Discounts on all the merch, member only.
So,
events.
there are there live events? Is this live events kind of thing?
Yeah, so there's live events, there's in-person events, and there's virtual. We're leaning more towards the virtual right now until we can kind of get a good kickstart and do a few more live events. But most of it is virtual. So like the Crystal Bingo, that's a live virtual event.
Okay, we do need to go to break. I've pushed Joe a whole minute over. I need to pee anyway. Go ahead and roll the commercials, and we'll talk more about Sabbath Social and start reading.
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, Techie Joe here. I work with Ace and Knight, some of the best psychics in West Virginia, to create amazing live streams and podcasts for the Psychic Coffee Shop Network. Together, we brew up great content discussing news, events, hot topics, and more, all from a psychic perspective. On the Psychic Coffee Shop, we interview amazing authors in the metaphysical realm. Coffee and Tea combines ASIN with Tracy, Dottie, Natalie, or Lady Gwendolyn for the good and the bad of being a psychic. Shameless Self Promotion with Dottie the Psychic talks to leading and emerging YouTubers and business owners in our community. Mountain Bears brings you the latest in LGBT news and politics. The Psychic that plans answers the question of, well, how a psychic plans. Plus, we're live on air. We take your comments and your questions, including psychic advice questions. Check out our amazing programming, book an appointment with top psychics, and find out all the wonderful things we have to offer at pcsbnetwork.com today.
Hi, I'm Ace and Knight. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aceandknight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that call now button there on my site. Great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy.
Okay, I want to know how to be a part of Sabbath Social. So if somebody like myself, Fesh, wants to be involved.
If you want to be involved, to you and to everybody out there who's listening, if you're interested in helping out or becoming a team member, just go to our contact page on the website. It'll be right there. There's a little tab that says contact. And then you just basically got to type up, who you are, your experience. Basically just tell us what you want to bring to the table and we'll consider you. There you
Palm
go.
River basic bitches. I want to do it. I want to do it.
She said, I want to do it. And
Either
we
that
are
or
actually...
Nancy. These are two things that I apparently have something special. I
There
did a
you
whole
go.
video on Teshumancy. I would love to do a virtual class on it.
There you go. And we're actually currently looking or keeping our eyes open for some more divination content, because we've got the monthly divination or monthly tarot scopes within our divination. So we're also just kind of keeping an ear to the ground. Sabbath Social says we will definitely take Dottie. And Sabbath Social has also mentioned a lot of things in the chat that
yes, the
I failed
ghost
to
tours.
mention.
Let's go back to the ghost tours, because you got me. I totally want to do
Yes.
a whole video on paranormal ethics.
Yes.
What is this about? Ghost tours and happy hours, because I love both.
Yes. So
then we'll
our
get your
most
question
recent in-person event, Raven actually was in Texas. So she took anybody who was local to the Black Swan Inn on a ghost tour. And then I think they had a happy hour afterwards, but we plan on continuing that in person. We also, she did a video regarding that, which is also on our YouTube channel. So you can kind of see a little bit about that. And also things like she mentioned shopping excursions, which we're actually going to be doing here very soon in the month of November. We're planning a virtual and an in-person shopping excursion. So we're trying to keep it balanced. There's people, obviously, we can only reach out so far until word of mouth gets out and more members are coming in out and about. So eventually we'll have members in every state, hopefully, and we'll be able to do more in-person events countrywide and maybe even internationally, because we do have some members in Canada and Australia right now.
My finances to become a member. Not gonna lie.
Well, if you're a content creator, you get member perks. So that's a whole thing. So if you join the team, that's a perk to being a team member and joining in. So that's why if you're interested, you should definitely contact us.
I'll definitely be interested in sharing, because I've got a newsletter. If you want to feature, if you want to snag one of my, as long as I get to use it too, you can have one of my columns.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Put
it in. You got to put it in an email though, because I'll forget.
We'll talk about that off air. Don't y'all?
Yeah.
You and not perform, but
Yeah, but yeah, all kinds of stuff. We've got a Spotify playlist where, you know, a lot of our members were talking about just like witchy music or spiritually inclined music that they like to listen to. So we've started some playlists on Spotify under Sabbath Social that you can take a look at. Dottie may or may not be on our playlist as a podcast, as a suggested podcast. So that's a thing. Yeah. So
I've been working on it. This is actually going to end up on my podcast.
well, hey everybody listening.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not too loud.
I think our audio seems to be balancing out. I know I'm pretty loud, so it means. But I'm excited. Like, yeah, it seems like you've got a lot going on.
There's a lot. We're even going to be introducing a like a gamers corner soon, so that's a thing. All kinds of stuff in the works. All kinds of things coming. So literally, if you were to ask what is Sabbath Social, it's like, well, how much time do you have?
That's good to know. You know, I am really interested in seeing where this all goes. Definitely, y'all. Where can people sign up for the we can sign up for all this at Sabbath Social, right? Everything's there on the website.
Yes, the newsletter is free. The only thing that's not free are paid events and the membership, which you can still. There's still a lot of free content and merch. Merch isn't free too. Yeah, unless you play a game at one of our events, you may win some merch. So that could be a thing. But
meditation meetups. Now, see, that's something I've really thought about doing. Like I actually have a meditation of the month that I do for my newsletter.
Ooh.
I'm still reworking. Like, I'm gonna rework the front page so everything's a little bit more accessible. Mm-hmm. The idea that, like, you know, on so you can go to like the front page of my website and go down and find whatever it is that I've talked for the day and actually find it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question
on Sabbath Social too.
Right. I want to talk. You know, I'm always about talking more shop, but let's go ahead and answer this poor lady's question. And I'm going to tell you, honey, sometimes you just got to get yourself free. It's okay to just get yourself free. Your kids are raised.
I grabbed the old worn deck, so let's just. It's a little worn in, and sometimes it can be a little too honest. So I apologize in advance if it misbehaves.
Spotlight her question. So that's all right. I've got this relatively new deck, but look at this. My one of my dearest friends gave me this deck. It is based off the Renaissance deck that they found in Marseille.
Ooh.
So
how many are we pulling?
What you feeling? Wonder if you did the right thing, honey. You did the right thing at the time, and now you need to do the right thing for you and get free. You've been living under this for a long time. I can tell you, I can feel from here that marriage.
I don't even need a card, but I'll pull a card. Like that's kind of that's kind of where I'm at right now. So it's like
Ten of Swords. Here's the thing about the Ten of Swords. You could not have made a different decision at the time. You made the best decision with the information you had at the time. And now the information has changed. And so does your path. All right, your turn.
Hold on.
What is it?
Oh.
Don't keep pulling cards. What was the one you just had up?
Ooh. Okay, so normally I do this drunk. So
it's never a good sign when your psychic is making funny noises. Like, oh,
I kept pulling to see if it'd get better.
Sorry, dear.
So I got I pulled 3. I got Knight of Pentacles, but I got him in reversed, right? So Knight of Pentacles is what I call a face card. So to me, how I read is this may reflect a specific person or a specific energy involving this situation. And you may have noticed I was shuffling as we were talking about other things. It's because I saw your question and I was like, I'm going to shuffle for this
bad
now.
With money.
I mean, I'm thinking what you probably thought was a stable decision was not, and ended up being bad, obviously, for obvious reasons, but also financially could have been a bad decision. Whereas, you know, sometimes maybe you expect in a relationship that it would be 50-50. It wasn't necessarily 50-50. And basically you got, you know, you got 9 of Swords here, right side up, which is painful. You know, it could be, you know, regret, you're losing sleep over this, that whole situation. And you've got, for your third card that I pulled, this is like the walk down memory lane card. It's 6 of Cups. So I say walk down memory lane because the art is like, you know, oh, these 2 children, which gives us a sense of like childhood happiness. And then you got the strolling guy. So it's all about like, you know, childhood memories, all of that, but it's also in reversed when I pulled it. So basically, I think this is in a nutshell exactly what Dottie said. There ain't nothing like being free. And also, just as a person, like not trying to be mean or read you or anything, but also as a Cancer, I don't know what your sign is, but I like follow my heart. And if you're wondering about whether or not you should just go and be free, you've already left. You've checked out. You're not in the building. You're no longer a part of that unit anymore, at least not in your heart of hearts. And
you know, when you take your wedding vows, you believe them. And I understand, honey, I understand. I was with a man for 8 years. Well, I was with him for 11, but I was married for 8 years. When I took my wedding vows, I meant till death do us part. And then I realized it was going to end in one of us dying. And it's okay to leave.
Totally cool.
It's a 2-person thing. It is a 2-person thing. And if he's not putting in his share, you can't expect to keep wasting yourself on him. You got a lot of life left, and it might be on your own. And that's okay.
And that's perfectly fine. And it will be hard. But you know what? You can't... That's something else that kind of struck me about your question, and I'm going to get a little personal here, is that you said you stayed because of the kids and the grandkids, but that's really an excuse. Like, I'm just going to lay that down. It's really
I
an excuse.
understand. Like, there are things that definitely keep you in, but like, your kids are raised. You've done your bit.
That's what it sounds like. If you have grandkids, your kids are raised. My mom used the excuse, I stayed for the kids, and them separating was actually the best thing that could have ever happened to the kids. Speaking as one of the kids. So, you know, it's
fair enough.
Yeah, it's a thing. So,
you know what? Yeah, if you want to, Amanda, Amy, tell me what your birth date is so we can just verify that you're over 18. And then, yeah, Nathan, if you're willing, I'm willing. We can do readings for as long as you like.
Sure. Okay. Let's go. Won't get me as drunk, but
girl, if you're missing your happiness, here's the thing: if you imagine a life after they're dead, then it's time to go. I know that sometimes you're like,
but that's
wow,
good
when
advice.
my life be easier without them in it? That means your heart has let go.
Yeah, you're not in it. You're not in the building. You've left. You've checked out.
That's okay.
Totally cool. That doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah, you did your time.
Not at all.
Okay, Amy, what's your question, dear? Okay, thinking about it a lot lately. Career change. These are always fun. Like, I know, like, they seem a little disruptive to a live stream, but I do love doing readings. Like, literally, that's why it's my profession. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, girl. Let's see. Career change. I keep going first because I'm like the first one in the row, and I just like, because you remember
you're drunken
the night we did drunken divination. I don't know who was in charge of where we were placed, but it kept like moving.
That was me. I moved you a lot. It was fun.
I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, I'm easy to get along with. I try never to be. I'm like, don't give me a reason to be difficult, and I won't be.
Same.
Oh, see, thanks, now. You go first now. Oh,
that's funny. Nope, you.
now he's just fucking with me.
No, I refuse. Oh goodness. I mean, I will. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you're first now.
So keep in mind, I have not been reading nearly as long as Dottie or probably anybody else in the world has. I mean, I've learned a lot in the last year. So I'm still learning my cards. And so
more shit you never tell the client, man. Mostly we just need to work on your presentation, okay? You don't need to tell people you don't know what the hell you're doing.
I'm a guest here. Listen.
Never tell the client you haven't got a clue what's going on, okay? Never tell the client you don't know, and don't look at the book.
So here's my thing. I haven't been looking at the book. You'd be proud of me, ma'am.
I am proud of you, actually. I have noticed that you've not been looking at the book until you get wasted. I'm like, okay, you know what? They're too
but wait,
wasted
let me, and then I can't read it anyway because it's all like, yeah. So for me personally, I have the 8. I don't count the cups. I just try and read the Roman numerals. I have 8 of cups, but I got it in reversed. So like, to me, this card is like leaving something, but like you're clearly showing the signs of, but I don't want to let go. I have so much invested. Like, I'm so comfortable here. I don't know. But also change is what causes growth. Right? So like me over here sitting in my seat, I'm going to be like, girl, quit it. Go, leave. If it ain't giving you whatever you want, you need to go. You need to just leave, just drop it. But that's just how I am. I mean, I don't know your whole situation, and this is just one card. So grain of salt.
Mike, drop your DOB on.
Do what?
Mike was also asking a question about her. Okay, girl, I'm going to tell you now. I've got the 5 of coins, the Knight of Wands, and then the 8 of coins.
Okay.
So when I see the 5s, to me represent strife. Whenever I see 5s, I think strife. With the coins, I think money. And I think with that and the Knight upside down together, some little prick has been costing you money. That's all. I really gotta watch my mouth. I just let it go, man. I just let it go. But there is somebody in your life who is literally.
I apologize in advance for anything I might say because I don't watch my mouth.
Me neither. I'm like, I probably should, but I don't. So it is definitely time to get that money stable. You know what to do. You know who you need. You do need a career change.
So it sounds like you should just go.
Yeah. Unless you have the power to evict this guy, you might have to leave. Because somebody has been using your work and not giving you credit and not giving you funds. Somebody's been making money off your back without sharing. Hey there! Hello, Raven. See, Mike is next, but then sure, we'll give you a card.
Mike says career change. So let me just say, it ain't easy.
Right? Like, I made that jump, and I gotta tell you, I've been struggling.
Yeah,
if y'all want a reading, just make sure you drop your date of birth so that we can verify that you're over 18, because that is a national law, and I don't want to get busted. Not that I think that anybody would actually complain, but we didn't have Tarot Destroyer on here last time. Oh my God, this guy popped in. This freaking troll popped in.
I love trolls.
He's like, don't you think you're too old to be like tricking people with tarot? I'm like, don't you think you're too old to be harassing random people online?
No, they love that. But that's why I just feed it back to them.
Right.
So like, I love it when they comment and they like interact in any way, really. It just gives you more for the algorithm.
I know. I feed into it. I have to be careful because I have to realize that people do not find fun. As a long-term carer, as somebody who's worked with the homeless, you develop a very sick and weird sense of humor. Like, you have to let stuff roll off your back, because if you're offended by everything, you are not going to survive. Like, you can't do the job without a really, really twisted sense of humor. So I find bad behavior entertaining, at least to a certain point. So other people will be well exhausted, and I'll just be laughing at the amount of energies people are pouring out just to be rude. I'm like, what a waste of life. Like,
yeah,
you call out
what a
your
waste
mother's
of
birthday
energy.
for this?
Yeah, Sabbath Social had one not too long ago, and he was doing real good for our algorithm, though, girl. I'll give him that. Like, he was watching every single video that we had posted up to that point, was commenting, like doing all the things. And I was just like, literally, like in the chat, like, thanks for helping us out with the algorithm. Thank you, you know. And I was even like, you know, you could, if you don't like it, you could stop watching it, but you're doing such a great job. Thanks for helping our algorithm. And he just kept going. And I'm just like,
buy
yes,
your
like
merch, ironically, like
me in the chat, like going, yes, thank you. I'm like,
you know what would
share.
really, really make us mad? If you buy all the sweaters. That,
right.
Okay.
Me,
Sorry.
I do the same thing.
Mike. We'll get there. We'll get there. We may
Just
take
like
the long
drunken
way, but we'll get there.
dibs.
So I have the 8 of Swords. I have the Valet of Wands, because this is a French deck. See, Valet
Oh,
Baton, de Baton. You can't see that.
Girl,
Focus,
I can't read
camera.
in English. You'll sit here and try to make me read in French.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it's like the Page of Wands, and then I've got the five of Swords. So it seems like you've got a lot of conflict where you are right now, and I really, really question if. Here's the question, because I know the question is whether you want to make your hobby your life. The question is, if you make your hobby your life, are you going to have the same passion for it? Because there is going to be nothing but strife for at least 6 months.
I'm reading the chat, and I'm just like,
humor is a little wicked.
Oh, it was a good book, good movie.
It is a good movie. I'm like, oh, Joe, like.
Too funny.
This is why he's behind the scenes. He can sit there and make wisecracks that we have to react to on air.
Yeah, Anthony does it too all the time.
Yeah, just sit there, just poke at us.
Yeah, it's okay.
I do think that, okay, that's the question, is you have to decide where you are personally with this. Like, if you're doing your hobby to relax, then you have to be able to pump it out to make a living. You're going to have to be able to do it 80 hours a week and do all the business stuff along with it. That's honestly one of the biggest part of my job is, taxes, advertising, things that, are not just reading. Because technically I'm getting paid to do readings, and for all of those who want to check out my Patreon so I can make more videos, that's what I do for a living. The rest of this, like even this channel, is to help me get to a place where I can do what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling. I am struggling, not gonna lie. We do not stand on pretense here at Dottie the Psychic. Bitch is broke.
Bitch is broke. Same. Sabbath Social. Preach, girl. Preach. Yeah.
Wait. We're gonna do that.
Oh. Yes. Oh, goodness. My turn?
Yep.
I have 6 of Pentacles, which is a charity case. No. I mean, it could represent charity. That's my first thought when I pull this card is what you're doing, really is the money or the material, motivation for really what you're doing to help better people or other people, or is it more for you? But in this situation, I'm going to piggyback off of Dottie's message because it was a very good message. And I'm also going to say that, oh, look at those scales. Ooh, 2 people on either side. Balance. It's all about balance with the financials. And, Dottie made a good point as to, is it something that you're passionate about? Is it something that you're doing to relax? Because yes, you have to keep that in mind. It will be as your job. It's your job. It becomes a job. It literally does.
Do it even when you feel like shit. Like I'm
like
out here
even
reading.
When it's not paying your bills, it's a job, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't take into consideration. Is that it's work even before it's rewarding.
Oh, by a lot.
Preach. So
Preach.
Yes. So I would say within a year, maybe there's some math secrets that you could probably do some research on. And I think that this card is really saying you should do, if that's what you're interested in. You should look into, how much money you're going to be able to make doing the thing that you're going to do, and how long will it take you to put back a reserve to protect you.
You're going to have to do some hard, ugly math.
Yeah. And girl, listen, I know. Nothing fun.
We're both sitting here traumatized. Like, just going through trying to make a living out of what you love is hard. Like, even
but
if you're
go for it.
I would just definitely start preparing, saving back money. If you can do both at once for a little while till you start to actually build something up in your business, or at least a nest egg, because you have to assume you're going to lose money. For the, every business loses money for the first 2 years.
At least a year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the 3 months you're not going to make a dime.
Yeah.
Unless you're already making a dime. Okay, so what's our next
maybe
one?
Balance.
Yeah.
Stay at your job, but plan.
Definitely plan. I want to see what you do. If it's part of the Pagan community, I'll be definitely glad to help you. You can come on a live stream and promote.
You could shamelessly self-promote.
Right.
I had to say that slow so I wouldn't
I know. Shameless self-promotion. I have a thing for alliteration. I have a whole character.
I do
around
too. But they fuck me over every time. Sorry.
I know. I have a whole character, the literary librarian. You can see it's the ratty ass wig up there that needs to be totally redressed. Like that one right there.
Yeah, I know the librarian.
Yeah. I can't find the glasses. She hasn't been written in a while because all her lines are alliteration, which makes them a bitch to write and a bitch to read. So her parts are already real short. Real short.
Oh, fun. Love that, Mike.
That's really cool.
Yes.
All you can do is try. Don't rely on it for income for a while, but get it going. If you can come up with a viable business model and execute it, then don't let a psychic reading stop you. I do not want to discourage you in this. I do think that it will be eventually successful, but it's not going to be easy. Nothing worth having is ever given easily, unfortunately.
I'm going to reshuffle.
I'm going to take that back. That's bad. That's bad praxis right there. But, sometimes you're going to work for it. And especially with business, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Although I do want to see... I do want to see where this goes. And if you're interested in advertising, hit me up afterwards. I'm on Facebook, Dottie the Psychic. It's Dottie the Psychic, pretty much everywhere. I know, it's a little sing-songy. I did that on purpose. I totally did that on purpose.
What, IE?
I-E, like, because
I
there's
love
D-O-T. Some people spell Dottie D-O-T-T-Y. I'm like,
I love it though.
yeah.
Dottie the Psychic.
I'm like, I think because I have to keep going I-E, and it sounds boring and kind of demanding. Just say I-E, I-E.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it with the swords tonight? Okay, I've got the 8 of swords, and then the 9
I
of swords,
pulled and I didn't like it, so I'm reshuffling until I'm done.
Girl, girl, I'm sorry. No, I'm not reshuffling because I've learned not to do that. I have learned just to be like, okay, well,
I didn't even care. I did it.
Yeah,
I was
this
like,
is the shit.
I don't like this.
That's fair, but that's not how it really works. So I have got literally.
I don't like this.
I have the 8 of swords. Really? That's the 9 of swords, which
me with Roman numerals. I'm like, wait, what?
That's a weird way to do the Roman numerals. I actually did it weird. So, and the 2 of swords. So there's going to be a lot of conflict resolution skills being practiced. And you can't always make peace with people. And I hate to be with the 2 of swords specifically, at some point there are some people that do not have your best interest or the interest of your community in mind. And you may have to cut somebody out because that uneasy peace is not worth it. And it does sometimes come down to we're either friends or we're enemies. And that's when somebody does some fucked up shit, you got to really question why they're doing it. It doesn't matter, and at some point it doesn't matter what their motivation, it doesn't matter what they've got going in their life, it doesn't matter that they have a neurodivergency. That is not carte blanche to be an asshole. I'm neurocrispy and I'm not a cunt, so.
Neurocrispy cunt. I don't know what that is, but I want to eat there right now.
I know. Neurocrispy.
Neurocrispy.
I know. I heard neurospicy somewhere. I'm like, I'm not really neurospicy. I'm more like a little burnt.
Crispy.
I'm just a little on the burnt side. So I'm like a neurocrispy. I'm like, ugh. Like, when you get a sunburn and you feel crispy and your skin's peeling, that's me. I'm like, I'm neurocrispy. Little done.
There's just a little crunch up there.
Done.
Oh, goodness. My turn?
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't like what I pulled for this one either, but I kept with it and I kept pulling. So I got Knight of Wands, which is another face card, and he's in reversed. So yay, man, that's going to hit it and quit it and dump you. You've been dumped. And then I got this card again, which is the card I wasn't happy about to begin with, because I was like, I just pulled this card and I don't feel like it needs to come up again. Well, guess what? It came up again for the 3rd time. So funny that your question is involving balance, because you need to learn like where to put your resources and all the things. But also I got the Fool, which is defaced. Don't judge me, people. So the Fool is all about new opportunities, taking that leap. Like, hey, at least he is right side up this time. So you'll probably fly. I mean, the dog is warning you, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't jump off that cliff. But in this situation, maybe you should. Maybe you should take that chance. Just, invest properly. I guess, in whatever situation this has to do with.
I mean, honestly, it looks like you're going to have to do some serious house cleaning, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it always sucks to have to cull the herd a bit. But they're...
Yeah. Raven and I are used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Julie B. Okay.
Got it. She said, got it. Is this a general, Julie, or do you have a question? Tits out. Yes.
Tits out. Balls to the walls, boys.
That's even better. Oh, goodness.
You know what? This Mercury retrograde is just hard on everybody. I got this the Eight of Swords again for you. So definitely we're working on the conflict resolution tonight. I'm so sorry.
Conflict res sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot. I feel like there has been. When I see the Eight of Swords specifically, I think because eights are usually, they're not a mastery, but they're a moving forward. They're a big pit. What they represent to me is somebody who's put in a lot of work, somebody who is learning, because the whole card is the suit is a journey. The numbers are a journey. So when I see eight, at least that's how I remember it.
What'd you pull?
The Eight of Swords.
Oh, whew. Okay. I thought we had a synchronicity, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" I got excited.
As cool as that would be for us, I'd be sorry. I'm so sorry.
Double.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, a whole lot of being stuck in the middle is what I see with the Eight of Swords, and it's almost like this is something you're really good at, conflict resolution. I think you're the one that people come to when they can't figure things out because they know that you have the patience and perspective to try and help out. And I feel like you're being tested. And that's kind of what's going on like right now. Just make sure that you are very careful with your own resources. Don't let other people drain you in the process of trying to figure this out. But it does look like it's going to have a good outcome in the end. Like you will be able to make peace. All right, your turn.
So I got an 8 card too, but I got an 8 of Wands, which
communication.
Yes, is all like lovey-dovey awesome for you for this reading. I think that Dottie has it on the dot. I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah.
We got dots on it. Like I have a thing for dots. Like I can't help it.
Yes. But you know, ooh, I threw it. You're basically you're going to come to that realization. You're going to get there fast. This is a change. You already know what change that you need to make to do the things, to clean out the shit, you know, if I could say that. So just make it happen, and things will get good, you know, all about communication, which isn't necessarily what Mercury is all about right now, but you know.
You know what? Let's talk about the Mercury retrograde. Let's. Do we have any more readings? Let's do what. If we've got one more reading, we'll do it. But if not, then we'll go on to the Mercury retrograde. We are hitting 2 hours. We'll go all night if we're not careful. But like that's what I like about it.
Let's talk about Mercury and how he's being rude.
You know, here's the thing. I did a video on this because it was kind of in one way. I did this video for Mercury retrograde for a few reasons. Number one, I think it's a very interesting concept and the way to look at the god. And number two, I was getting ready to go on a trip in the middle of a freaking Mercury retrograde, and I was trying to pay homage so that I didn't get, you know, I didn't want my plane to go down midway.
You didn't want to get fucked? Yeah, I hear you.
I'm like, okay, I would really, really like my baggage to follow me all the way to the end of this trip. You know, I want to be able to change my clothes at some point. I'm just going to go ahead and be nice. But so Mercury is the Roman version of the Greek god Hermes, who is a very complicated god. He has a lot of backstory. But the parts that the Romans, and he was actually a god of a lot of things because he was the god of messenger. He was the messenger god. So he had his, you know, he had his hands in everything. He was also one of the harder working ones. Apparently he did like to sleep around. He also, as they do. But he, like right out of the gate, he created the lyre and traded it to Apollo to make up for stealing his cattle the first day. Like he ran off and stole his brother's cattle. That is his first act, was to steal his brother's cattle and then to make a lyre out of a turtle shell to make up for it. So like he is
Mercury. Mercury for you.
Right. So he is, not only is he hardworking, but he's got a wicked sense of humor. So you think about it, he goes into retrograde more often than anybody else because he's busting ass. He works hard for that money. So hard for his money. And when he goes on vacation, if you try to give him something to do, like new projects, if somebody tries to get you to do something in the middle of your vacation, you're not going to respond too well to it. I can usually tell at the beginning of the Mercury retrograde and the last few days of the pre-shadow and the post-shadow, like the actual Mercury retrograde, I just can't get stuff to move. And I actually noticed this when I was working on housing for the homeless. There would be like a 3-week period where I could not get anybody moved into a house. And then it was like all at once.
Yep.
So it's kind of like the god of communication goes on vacation. So like if
Good
you
way
think
to
about
look at it.
Yeah, pre-shadow.
But then I'm jealous that he gets more vacations through the year than I do.
Yeah, but he also works harder than I do. I doubt that though. Like, I really doubt that. Like I work pretty fucking hard.
So hard for it, honey. So hard.
So you better treat him right. Sorry, had a moment there.
Oh, I was ready. I was ready for the moment. I was ready.
But no, if you think about it, like seriously, the first time I really started paying attention to Mercury retrograde, because that's another aspect of the Mercury retrograde. It's not just that communication is slowed down or weird. There's often a comical aspect to it. Like if you sit back and like once because you have things melting down, and sometimes when things are melting down, it's hard to take that step back and be like, okay, yeah, that would be funny if it was happening to somebody else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The first time I noticed Mercury retrograde, this is back in Cottageville. Like, this is how long ago it was. Like, I was still, like, dealing with, like, life in the backwoods. Back in Jackson County.
Pike County.
My ex was an alcoholic, and I had to be sober at the bar. So at the end of the night, one poor asshole had to drive a bunch of people around to drop off the drunks. The drunk taxi. I ended up being the drunk taxi. They called me Double D for a couple of reasons.
Sorry, continue.
That joke's a lot more funny when I'm wearing a low-cut top. But seriously, so like I'm driving my asshole alcoholic ex-husband now home, and so I'm speeding because it's 3:00 in the morning and I don't see anybody, and it's a small town, and so like the bar is closed. I'm going home. I was speeding a little bit, so the cop like zings out, pulls me over. He's got me dead to rights. I'm going 10 miles over the speed limit in town. I'm like, whoa, god damn it. So he does. He gives me a ticket. This ticket happened to be a coupon for free Frosty and a burger.
Yes, please.
Yeah, like it was some sort of, they were watching the area for drug dealers. So if it was just like normal traffic, it was local traffic and it wasn't causing any trouble, they were like, well, for your inconvenience, here you go. So like,
okay.
That's the first time I noticed the Mercury retrograde. I got pulled over and I got a ticket for a free Frosty.
I'd like that Mercury retrograde, please. Give me one of those.
I mean, I've had some rough ones, but ultimately, like, usually if you sit back and are just like, the one thing you should do during Mercury retrograde, if you want your Mercury retrograde to go a little
Don't buy a
smoother,
computer.
Don't buy any electronics. That is always a bad idea, and you will have trouble with that electronic because it will carry the Mercury retrograde. Just suffer through with your electronics.
Out of spite.
Yeah. Yeah, let that shit go for a couple of weeks if you can. If you can't, then, I mean, good luck. But, God, every time I've bought a phone during a Mercury retrograde, I have to return it and buy a different phone. Like, it's happened twice. Fucking happened twice. So I'm going to wait till the end of the Mercury retrograde because my phone's acting up again.
Joseph, why does everyone else have cute, happy, I got pulled over stories and all I get is the officers that previously appeared? on a Scared Straight episode. Oh, God.
Sorry, Joe.
That's so funny. Oh. Oh, and then
Okay,
tear up.
so Mercury retrograde survival guide. Go back and do shit that is already on your plate. Like clear
Yeah.
old shit out. If you want to, I tell you what, that's the perfect time. The stores will line up so that you can clear old shit out. Because if you think about it, what do you want to see when you come back from vacation? You want to see all that shit done, not new projects. You want to see old projects done, not new projects on your desk.
True. Good point.
So if you think about it like that, I tell you what, and like, leave milk and honey for the fairies and pray, and you'll make it.
Oh, gosh. At least if you're already working with them. If you're going to start working with them, wait till after Mercury is at retrograde.
You know what?
They're hard enough to understand.
Here's the thing about working with a fae. If you treat them like, I've kind of got a country folk mentality when it comes to spirits. I treat everybody about the same. You don't grovel before dragons because you are crunchy and taste good with ketchup. You be respectful to your neighbors.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Now, you can't say the fae because, you know, they got subcultures and sub-communities
right. Well, you know,
too,
get to know your neighbors. If you treat them like neighbors and you're nice to them, and you build a neighborly relationship with them, then they'll treat you. They're decent folk.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're like, you know, just don't like people, because then
I mean, you're gonna run into assholes no matter what.
They're like those people. You just stay away from them. They're like those, you know. Like, I don't know. For me,
most part,
it depends on who you talk to.
For the most part, my work with a fae is honestly, you treat them like, you know, a respectable neighbor. You treat them like a welcome house roommate, you know, because you think about it, they're living in your environment. You are coexisting in an environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you're going to be a shitty roommate, then you can't expect respect.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. But some fae just like to eat people, so, you know.
I mean, they're shitty, you know.
Maybe not talk to them.
I don't know.
Do research.
With the monsters under my
I mean, there's a difference between brownies and, like...
The wee free people?
The wee free people. There's a difference between, you know, like the household fae or like, you know, trolls.
Right.
Or,
I mean,
and then there's like Native American spirits that I think are on a similar
wavelength,
frequency, if you will, but like they'll eat you.
There's actually a thing. I was watching something about folklore, and apparently there are certain things that happen spiritually, spontaneously around the world, like using beads to count prayers with. There's the Catholic rosary, Buddhist beads, things like that. But one of the things that is cross culture, ubiquitous, genuinely ubiquitous amongst separate cultures is never whistle at night.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I've done that a few times, and it was a bad idea.
Oh, honey. Dottie was the witch that said, bet.
Look, I'm the dumbass who played with the Ouija board by myself because I know enough to clear my space. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. There's a reason you don't do that shit. And I fucked around and found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what dumbfounds me about TikTok, though, is you see a lot of people like talking about not whistling at night. And like just different things, and it's like it's kind of amazing because I'm like, really, people don't know that.
I mean, I get it. If you're not coming from that sort of background, like,
yeah, but it's just kind of like amazing,
right?
I'm like, ooh, your mama didn't raise you. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Some of them, I swear they didn't.
I'm just kidding.
Honest to God, some people, my dad had an idea that if you treat every being with the same basic level of respect, and this is something I learned from working with the autistic folks, working as a nurse, you learn to treat everybody with a certain level of civility, not necessarily respect, but civility. And you take respect. That, if you bring that into your spiritual practice, when you work with spirits, you are going to have a much easier time in life in general. Like, that whole golden rule of treating others the way you would be treated does not just apply to people with bodies.
But also research, like, because, it's kind of like going to a different country.
Yeah.
Or talking to someone from a different cultural background.
Do your research. People are going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have always been one of I played with
the room. Is that what you said?
By myself.
Yeah. Sorry, Anthony was commenting.
Right. Okay, so we got one more round of commercials. Joe, if you want to go ahead and run those in just a second, and then when we come back, we will start. We'll wrap it up with talking about what all we've got going on, making sure everybody knows where to find us and everything.
Sweet.
All right, Joe, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Knight. Hi, Asen. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Van chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit tracyvann.com, TracyBann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal, because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and I let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
That was perfect timing too. Oh, I can't do it. I had a hat on. It won't look as good as yours did. No fair.
Okay.
That's too funny.
Okay, so we talked about drunken divination. We've definitely talked about Sabbath social.
Yeah, all things. Talked about the things that Sabbath Social has coming up immediately, which I think is the Crystal Club and the Sanderson celebration. Sabbath Social Sanderson celebration. Say that 5 times fast.
Sanderson Sisters celebration. Sanderson Sisters. Nope.
Sabbath Social Sanderson celebration is like so. Yeah. The only other thing that I want to talk about that's coming up for me is Drunken Divinations is the Saturday, 8:30 Eastern. We've got Marcus Keys coming on for the second time. So that's going to be lots of fun. He was a blast. So
Joe dropped the link to where I was on your Drunken Divination.
Yes. And stay tuned because she's coming back. So...
We definitely need to get that on the books. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
It's so much fun. We loved having you, and you need to come back. So, yes. And then what else? I'm doing a pay-per-card reading situation on my website now. So I'm dipping my toes into that.
Dipping your toes into the professional world.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. So I'm doing that, and I'm also offering other services. I'm ordained now, so I can do all the cleansings and all the blessing stuff and the hand fasting stuffs and all of that. So if you're in the Florida area of things and you want to have a pagan wedding, let me know. Let me know.
I need to come down and visit you.
Yes.
I need to make a cross country, like when
do
I
it
get
in the
big,
do it in the winter.
When I get big,
Unless
that is like my dream. I want to go around once I've got enough YouTube buddies. You know,
I have a couch.
That's cool. Yeah, I would totally. I'm an old hippie. I could sleep on the floor. Give me a pillow and a blanket. I'm good.
I got a couch. As long as you don't mind rooming with a dog and cat, you should be good.
I can't say it. Literally, my bed belongs to my dog, so just share it with me. I know that's gross. I will not be fielding questions.
It's not. They used to sleep with us, but I got a comforter that is like hair and fur. And I was like, I can't clean up after the dogs and that comforter. So I'm choosing the comforter. So that's the only reason why I don't let them in there anymore.
You know what? That's fair.
I'm just like, no, I can't do both. Can't do both. Too hairy.
Hello, Pete.
Hi, Pete. Hi. What else? I think that's it.
Drunken Div. And then, of course, I've got the new channel, the newsletter. I'm still working on my shit. I've totally rearranged stuff. I've got a lot more going on my Patreon now. Okay, so we would like to thank our patrons, who I am not going to rattle off your names, y'all. Folks, this is never going to happen. I will never.
I'll do it.
Names.
Jen Greer, Kathleen Jenkins, Beth Mullins, Tori R. Fry, Sky Lawrence. Thank you for joining Dottie's Patreon. You could join too.
All my patrons. I really appreciate it.
I was like, I'll read it, Dottie. Let's go. And then I'm like, oh wait, some of these are hard to pronounce. Okay.
I know, that's why I don't do it. Like, I know somebody's gonna come up with a name that is not familiar to me, or even sometimes like common names. I wouldn't say common, nobody's common, but you know, names that should be familiar to me. I will still just screw them right the hell up. Can't even do it.
Same. I can't read. It's fine.
So I can't. I'm bad with names. I'm extra bad with names. Like, if you ever if I made for a live stream, like if it was a charity thing, I would get on and like read a book out loud, because it is endless entertainment. It is so frustrating. It is so funny.
Same.
Like, you can't ask me to do. Okay, so the credits are rolling. Do you ever worked on your ending tag? Do you have an ending for your videos?
Just bye. That's it.
All right.
Bye. Like and subscribe.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Bye.